Hi everyone, our ants have already been living in their new home for more than 5 days. They have already been very busy. First, they dug a tunnel and hid the queen underground. Then they made a second tunnel to store their seeds. But that's kind of boring, so we need to set up a few experiments for them, and these worms are perfect for that. I am scared to pick up these worms with the tweezers too, but we need to carry this experiment through to the end. So now I'm going to pick up the first worm and drop it right into the arena, and we will see what our ants do in this situation. And now our worm has met the first ant, and it immediately ran off to alert its soldier friends. Right now it has no idea what danger is waiting ahead. And now several ants rush toward our worm and a small fight begins. But our worm is pretty smart. Look, it turns around and heads straight for the feeder. There is a small hole there and it crawls inside and completely hides from our ants. In the end, the worm is safe. The ants keep looking for their enemy, but they can't find it anywhere, and honestly, it's going to stay in there for more than 2 days. Okay, now I'm going to take the second worm and place it closer to the queen, and we will see what the ants do in this situation. Look at that, I barely put the worm down and the ants are already attacking it. I have never seen this before. They go straight for the enemy, especially since it's crawling right towards the queen. And now there are already so many ants here. Soldiers, ants are arriving from everywhere. But for the worm to reach the queen, it has to go through this teeny hole. Only then could it become a real threat to the queen. This arena has never seen such a big fight before. All the ants are going after our worm. And look, we are pushing our worm away from the queen's safe area. But it is not the most aggressive. It only becomes truly aggressive when an enemy enters its territory. Our worm is trying to save its life and it wants to crawl into that hole to reach the queen. But the ants won't let it, and a really brutal fight begins. As you can see, only the soldier ants are attacking our enemy. Sometimes a small worker ant may join in, but usually this is soldier's job. Their role is to guard and protect the queen. Finally, they force our worm to run away. But you can't even imagine what happens next and what our ants are about to do to this worm. I will just leave this here without any comments. And look what we did, the ants draw our worm through all these tubes and straight into the arena, and they keep fighting right here. But don't forget that one of the worms is still hiding right in the feeder, and at the night it's going to be doing all kinds of things. For example, it can feed one of insects lying on the little plate next to the feeder. While I was telling you about the worm hiding in the feeder, our ants were all working together to deal with the threat right here in the arena, because they understand that in the future it could become very dangerous for them. And in the end they finished it off. In the end our ants took care of the first threat of the day. While all the soldier ants were fighting the worm, one very large ant that should have been helping them was busy carrying seeds. Usually that's not his job. Just look at how much bigger it is than the other ants. And now it's time for me to say goodbye. Guys, we will prepare more experiments for you and show them to you soon. See you next time.